Wasallam, you ask forgiveness of Allah for them or you don't ask. Allah is not going to forgive them. And the ayah, in tastaghfir lahum 70 marratan, lan yaghfir Allah. Even if you ask Allah's forgiveness for them 70 times, Allah is not going to forgive them. So those doors were closed. But these surahs, Surah Ahzab in the 5th year, Surah Nisa in the 6th year, Surah Tawbah in the 9th and 8th years. So still this time, till the 5th year, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept the door of Tawbah and repenting open for the munafiqeen. وَرَدَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِغَيْظِهِمْ. And Allah turned back those who disbelieved in Muhammad, the armies that had come. Allah sent them back بِغَيْظِهِمْ, with their own rage. لَمْ يَنَالُوا خَيْرًا. They could not have attained any good. They came in full force, 12,000 of them. They had encircled Medina. They kept staying there for a month, but nothing. They could gain nothing. وَكَفَى اللَّهُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ الْقِتَالَ. And Allah was sufficient for fighting on behalf of the Muslims, on behalf of the Mu'mins. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ قَوِيًّا عَزِيزًا. And verily Allah is strong and mighty. وَأَنزَلَ الَّذِينَ ظَاهَرُوا مِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ مِنْ صَيَاصِيهِمْ. Now, another aspect of this Ghazwatul Ahzab was that the last of the 3 tribes which remained in Yasrib till that time, Banu Qurayza, Banu Qaynuqa had already gone, Banu Nuzair had already gone. Out of these 3 tribes, now only one Banu Qurayza was there. And they also broke the covenant and agreement with Muslims. And they sided with the armies which had come out from outside. There was an intrigue and conspiracy. Somehow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved the believers and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from the evil effects of this conspiracy. But now, when these armies had gone, there is a hadith that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was putting down his armor and his weapons, and Jibreel came to him alayhi salam, Ya Rasulullah, O Messenger of Allah, you are putting off your weapons and armor. We have not put off our weapons. These Banu Qurayza are to be punished. So the Prophet said to the Muslims, nobody should say the afternoon prayer of Asr without reaching the place of Banu Qurayza. So people went there, then there was, they encircled their township. There were fortresses actually, very strongly built. They had much weapons. They thought that we are very powerful. But then they decided to give up, surrender. There was not a fight. They surrendered, gave up. And the decision they themselves gave to Abdullah Sa'd ibn Mu'az radiyallahu anhu, that whatever he decides about us, we shall accept. And he then decided that all the people who can take part in fighting, they should be killed, and the rest of the people should be taken as slaves, and all their properties be confiscated. So this worst, end came to Banu Qurayza. And it is an appendix of the battle of Ahzab. وَأَنزَلَ الَّذِينَ ظَاهَرُوهُمْ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought those people who had sided with them down from their forts and fortresses. وَقَذَفَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمُ الرُّعْبَ. And he cast awe into their hearts. فَفَرِيقًا تَقْتُلُونَ وَفَرِيقًا وَتَعْصِرُونَ فَرِيقًا. So some of them you are killing, and others you are making slaves. وَأَوْرَثَكُمْ أَرْضَهُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made you inherit their lands. وَدِيَارَهُمْ. And their houses and dwellings. وَأَمْوَالَهُمْ. And their wealth and possessions. وَأَرْضًا لَمْ تَطَئُوهَا. And land which you had not trampled under your feet. No fighting took place. Without that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you this. And this is, called, one is ghanima. When there is fight, then there is ghanima. But this is another form of booty. And here, it is all for Allah and His Messenger and the poor among the Muslims. It has not to be distributed among the people who took part in the expedition. Now starts that part of the surah which deals with the matters of women, and also that special incident of Hazrat Zainab bint Jahsh radiyallahu ta'ala anha, Ummul Mu'mineen, because then the Prophet married him. Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu qul li azwajika, O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, say to your wives, in kuntunna turidna al-hayata ad-dunya wa zinataha. If you desire the life of this world and the adornment thereof, fata'alena, so come. Umatti'kunna, I give you the comforts of this life. Wa usarrihkunna sarahan jamila, and then set you free in a beautiful way. Then you can't live in my houses. I have decided, faqr for me. I won't have any riches. I won't avail of any facilities or comforts or luxuries, what to speak of luxuries, even comforts. I have to live as a faqir, as the lowest of the believers. Now if you want to live with me as my wives, you have to accept this condition. But if you want, no, we should have facilities and we should have comforts of life. Now because other believers have also much of the comforts, now they are quite rich. So why shouldn't we be given? So if you decide that, okay, come, I will give you the wealth of this world, but then you will have to depart from my houses. وَإِن كُنتُنَّ تُرِدْنَ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ, and if you desire Allah and His Messenger, وَالدَّارَ الْآخِرَةَ, and the house of the hereafter, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ أَعَدَّ لِلْمُحْسِنَاتِ مِنْكُنَّ أَجْرًا عَظِيمًا. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for those amongst you who do good deeds a very mighty reward. Now what was the result? They all said, we prefer Allah and His Messenger, and we accept all these conditions. So there was no parting of ways, even of a single wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ya nisa nabiyya man taba minkunna, man yati minkunna bi fahishatin mubayyana. O wives of the Prophet, that one of you who commits a manifest indecency, something wrong, and it means, adultery. Man yati minkunna bi fahishatin mubayyanatin, yudaf laha al-azabu dhi'fain. She will be punished twice over, because you are wife of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You are living in the house of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you do, there didn't happen such an incident, not at all, ma'azallah. But the guidance is being given that if you commit something wrong, so you will be punished twice. وَكَانَ ذَلِكَ عَلَى اللَّهِ يَسِيرًا, and this is very easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't think that Allah can't do it because you are the wives of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No, Allah would do it. And the wife of Hazrat Lut was left behind with the kuffar to taste the chastisement. So this is, if anyone